when the ball don't go in the basket, then all the little turnovers and miscues get really magnified. So I'm trying to quit coaching right now and realize we're in the state championship game. So I'm trying to take that next step. That's what we've been talking about. So we're blessed to be taking another step and being in a state championship game, and just proud to do with this group of girls.
Question for coach or players?
Coach, there in the fourth quarter, y'all really had some big possessions and some big scores that kind of got y'all back out and stretched the lead back out. Talk about how y'all played down the stretch when it seemed like they had the momentum.
Yeah, well, you've seen us play a lot lately, and we've had some large games point-wise the last 7 or 8 games. We hadn't had a close game in a long time, and it kind of showed tonight. And got to give J.F. Shields credit for not quitting when we got up 18 or so, and we knew they was going to make a run at us, but you could tell we hadn't been in a close game in a while. So I'm glad we was able to come on top of that. But there was some big possessions, and we haven't seen that, like I said, in a while. But I was very proud of Kirsten and Peyton. Really played well down the stretch. They really read each other. Kirsten sees the floor really well. She made a really bad turnover, and she looked at me. She said, "I'll make up for it," and she did. She made 2 great backdoor passes to Peyton, and Savannah knocking down some free throws. So we made just enough. It wasn't as pretty as we'd like, but it don't matter right now. We're in the state championship game, and but it was just enough.
There was a possession, you're up 6. There was a cross-court pass that could have gone the other way, and she hustled up and caught it. And then you all end up scoring to go up 8 on that. Just talk about how big that possession was.
We talk about it a lot, meeting your passes. And if the ball's short, you cause a collision. And if there's anybody on this team that likes collisions, it's Peyton. So, yeah, it was a big possession for her to protect the possession, and that's what that was. She protected that possession because that was fixing to be a steal and 2 points on the other end, and we got a bucket off of it. So just a great heads up on Peyton's play, not just to meet the pass, but to protect that possession. And her, she's just a sophomore. She started down here as an 8th grader, and I've told her and AJ both. AJ's same situation. You're not a 10th grader. You're not a sophomore. You got to play like a senior. That was a senior play, protecting that possession for us late in the game.
Coach, one of the things that you had talked about was their size, and I thought Tiana did a great job on the inside with that. I mean, just talk about Tiana neutralizing down low.
Yeah, I thought the first half she played a really good game. Second half, I believe the size and it got to us a little bit, just the banging on us. It got a little bit to us, and we didn't handle that, well. But like I said earlier, not going to talk about that. It was just good enough to take the next step. But we did talk about the size a lot. We tried to simulate. We got some boys to come to practice, some bigger people to try to simulate this at practice, but we don't have many boys 6'3" in spring guard. It's hard to, look at my boys' basketball team and tell that, but I think that helped her. I think it helped all of us to put some size out there. But I was really proud of how big she showed up. She made some athletic plays. She pulled a couple of them I hadn't seen her do before in the first quarter. So
Tiana, same thing. Just talk a little bit about going against their size.
Well, I knew she was like 6'3", but it was kind of hard, like during practice, going against, because she was like way bigger than me. But whenever Coach Act just told me just do what I've been doing, box her out and stuff. So that's what I did tonight.
Questions for girls?
Tiana, who did you go against in practice?
Mr. Vines.
one of our sisters.
And Peyton, I'll ask you about the play I was talking about earlier where you came up and saved the ball from going the other way. Just take me through that play.
Well, like Coach Wright said, I do like collision. I mean, I don't have a very big body, but I would like to go against anybody that wants to put up a fight. And I saw her coming out of the corner of my eye. I was thinking, oh no, she's about to plow me over. But I just knew that that was a big time we had to have the ball. I knew that I could not let her come and steal it from me, or that would have been a layup and 2 more points that they really didn't need. It could have got them going even more. And it was a good pass. It was a good heads up for my coaches yelling at me, and my teammates were yelling at me. It was a heads up overall. I just so happened to be the one to get the ball and not let them get the possession.
Just for any of the girls, in the third quarter when you came back out, Johnson was rested, and there were stretches where they start chipping away. 13 becomes 11, becomes 10. where it looks like you guys started to get tired, started to give up on plays on the back end. Is that accurate, and what was going on? That was it just out of your rhythm, or?
I feel like whenever we came out, we knew that they wasn't going to give up, no matter if we got up by 20 or anything. And I felt like we had a few possessions where, we made some careless turnovers, and we knew that if we started playing some good defense on number 1 and 11 and Bootsy keep boxing out, that we'd be fine down the stretch as long as we made our free throws.
For any of the players or all of y'all back in the finals, y'all got a chance to repeat as state champions. Talk about how big that is for y'all.
It's a huge feeling. Last year's team and the year before's team, Darian Gaines' senior year, I feel like that really carried on to last year. Last year's team is really carrying on to this year. I feel like it's just from history of Spring Garden basketball. We're back in the finals, and it's an incredible feeling, but it's not time to quit now. We know that the history has led us here, and we're trying to make more history and go on for next year.
Either one of y'all want to address that? Well, Coach, I know y'all are back in the finals, so congratulations. If there's any one-on-ones, just do them across the hall. But remember, guys, they've not been with their team. Get your questions quick so they can get on back to their team. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can y'all see those okay there, guys? Or guy?
Very good. It could be $5 and I'll stay.
$5. I give you 3 to lead.
That's fine.
Good job. Okay, Coach, if you will, you'll be sitting here, Coach Hollinger, Illyria, is that right? Is that her name?
No,
Nettles?
Frazier, and this is T-Asia.
Okay.
Those names on there wrong.
Yeah, number 1 and number 11.
Okay, so we don't have the right names here.
No, sir.
Okay, well, we just put these down then. Y'all have a seat there. They must have written the wrong numbers down.
They got the wrong names.
Well, Coach, if you will, just any opening comments you want to make. Congratulations on, I thought, a great comeback effort. Really fought and got back in the game, and just congratulations on a great season. Anything you want to say about the game, and then we'll open up for questions.
Well, I'm just glad to be here. There's a lot of teams that didn't make it. In our little school, Jeff Shields, haven't been here since 2010. Our girls won in 2010, and I'm just proud of my girls. I can't say anything else. We came out playing a little sluggish, didn't do our best, and we paid for it.
Questions for Coach or players?
Come have a seat next to me, because you know you come in. Two parts of this. The second quarter, I know Johnson got in foul trouble, and they kind of cleaned up on the boards, but what's going through your head? How did they just wear down inside? What happened in the second quarter?
When Johnson is off the floor,
She's off the floor.
no rebounding is happening. I mean, Johnson is our sole rebounder. She's our bread and butter. She is a terrific rebounder, and she scores really well on the inside.
Okay, flip side of that. Third quarter, she's back in the game, and you're able to chip away. Were they getting frustrated inside because all of a sudden now she's back in and she's fresh, or was it the spark on your end?
To answer that, we did a lot of fussing on the inside, and when Johnson came back, she was ready, but then because she had been out, I think they forgot she was there, and when we play that inside with her there, I mean, it's going to be off. It's going to be, I mean, not off, but she's going to be ready to do what she needs to do. They were a little nervous, I believe.
Your girls.
My girls. And I think that caused a problem also.
I got more.
We talked about it in the dressing room. They said they were okay, but I think they were a little nervous.
Was it nerves? A little bit?
A little bit.
What was it? Was her coach's analysis of what happened in the second and how you came back in the third close? Is it from being on the floor? Or
Yes, sir.
tell me about it a little bit.
Well, in the first part of the game, we were lagging and we couldn't really make nothing. And then when we got back at halftime, we tried to speed the game up a little. That's when we came back and we tried to do a little too much when we got a little too excited.
Yes. I'm catching up. Hang on. Is that the way you saw it too? I mean, just got a little excited.
In the third quarter, I had to when we was down.
I can't hear. Third quarter, what?
In the third quarter, when we was down, I knew I had to get the ball and take over the game and try to get the scores back to a short period of time.
One thing I noticed too, Coach, is y'all did not let them score. As y'all were whittling away at the lead, they were not scoring baskets. How did y'all manage to do that?
Well, I told them they were going to have to come out and play man-to-man. They had to, we have this little play that we got going on. It's supposed to trap them and make them nervous and turn the ball over. So they did that pretty well. Not as well as they normally work that play. And when they started to do that, I think the other team got really nervous. I don't think that team has ever had someone to come at them like we did.
It was a great comeback effort in the second half. Tremendous
sir.
defensive effort that
Yes, sir.
allowed your shots to start falling a little bit.
Yes, sir.
One more question.
And then for both the girls, were they in the third quarter when you guys kept chipping away? 15 becomes 13, becomes 11. Were they getting tired and frustrated?
A little bit. They were turning the ball over. They was, I just don't know. They was turning the ball over and that was just real frustrated. That's when we knew we had to just get up on them like we did to make them more frustrated than what they was.
But then you did it so much you kind of burned yourself out, like you said, overdid it.
And overdid it.
Other questions? Well, Coach, congratulations. I
Yes,
thought
sir.
y'all played a great game. It's a four-quarter game, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And y'all finished strong.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us back
Thank
here.
y'all, girls.
We're so glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am. We're glad y'all are here.
All right.
We have a JF Shields man in my office.